Welcome everybody to another tutorial for LeagueTime.com, and here we are going to take a look at our tournament section. So when you log in, you will want to go to My Tournaments. So when you click on My Tournaments, it should bring up this page where you'll probably see nothing because you don't have any tournaments yet. So the first thing you want to do, if you want to add a tournament, and again, just a reminder, this is so that you create a tournament, not to join a tournament, like to join someone else's tournament. This is where you would be the tournament director, and you would want to click on Add, and that's going to take you through this process here where you can create a tournament. So I'm just going to call this Ben's Awesome Tournament, and that'll get us going at least. So you can name it whatever you want. Usually we don't recommend putting in like the year or anything like that because you're going to have it to where it's you're going to use the same tournament site every single year. So Ben's Awesome Tournament 2015, 2016, 2017, all that kind of stuff. You can put in all your details, so you know how much you would win if you win this tournament, or any kind of details like that. You can put in the description. People love to put in big long descriptions, but feel free to put in as much as you want, and that'll actually go right on your page, your home page for your tournament, because what we're doing here is we're creating a whole website for our tournament. So a membership would be if I had any kind of memberships connected to other websites. So for example, if I had a Nations baseball, if I was a Nations baseball person, I would have a membership for that, and I could connect that to this tournament. We're just going to skip that for now. You can see I had a Natty baseball one. Let's see, we're going to link it. We could link it to a league or an organization website, but again, we'll skip that, and we'll go to the tournament dashboard. You could also go straight to adding an event, but this is actually our tournament dashboard. So right now you can tell that we have nothing in there because we have no events, but since I'm the tournament director, I could have a tournament manager. I could add myself or add someone else as an administrator for this tournament. I could create a required membership, so maybe a CABA membership or a AABC membership if I have access to those things. I can see my registrants. The content manager is going to be where you could add homepage photo rotators. So let's take a look real quick at the tournament website. So if you click on the Go To Tournament page, that's going to open up a new tab, and you can actually see it loading here. So now I have my own tournament website. So Ben's Awesome Tournament, this is the website. I could copy the URL and I could send that to people, and then right there you see where I put tests for the tournament description, and you can add the photo rotators, so you could add photos from your previous tournaments or this next year's tournament, and you can put all the description in there. That's under, let's go back to our dashboard, that is all under our welcome message. So that's where you'd want to put all that information at. So once you have a tournament website, the next thing that you want to do is you want to add an event, because in LeagueTime, an event is basically the breakdown of the tournament. So if you have a 9U event, a 10U event, so you can go in here and you can put in a 9U age group. And so if we're going to say that this is for 2015, we could put in 8/1/2015, and then that would be the start of the tournament. The end would be 8, let's say it's just a Friday, Saturday, Sunday or something like that. So it's 8/1/2015 or 8/3. So then we can put in an entry fee. Maybe it's $200. Max teams, you don't have to put in anything with the red asterisk. You'll have to put in. If it doesn't have an asterisk, then you don't have to put in anything in there. So we'll just say this is in Cincinnati and Ohio. Bat type, aluminum, distance, and we can just say whatever, it's 45 by 60. Eventually we are going to probably make these so that they're not, you don't have to put those in, but right now you have to put something in there. The event name is generated by your age group and the bat type and the distance. You could also just call it the 9U Elite event if you wanted. Then you could, if you had breakdowns of maybe there's 3 different 9U events, one's for the American, one's for the national, one's for the premier, one's for the elite. You could have multiple different age level events that are all the same age level, but they're broken out by the caliber of team. If we want to allow teams to register online, then you have to turn on the enable registration. And again, for that you have to put in the date. So let's say 7/10/2015. The registration closes maybe 7. Well, no, let's just put it after the tournament date. So 8/3/2015. 8/31. So enable payments would allow us to put in a payment. Of course, for this you have to put in a PayPal email address so that you can get paid. If you don't put in a PayPal email address, you're not going to be able to get paid. So obviously you'd want to put something in there. And right now it breaks down the cost of using our system. So PayPal actually takes a fee from your $200, since that's what we put in for our entry fee. So our entry fee up here is $200. So down here it's going to tell us that out of that $200, PayPal is going to take $6, and LeagueTime actually takes 2%, so $4. So the reason we do that is for covering our costs, and but that shows you that the net total that you are going to get paid by each team that registers for your tournament. If they pay online, they are going to be paying you $189.90. So about $10 will be taken out to process the online payments. Now you can put in a convenience fee. So if we say we want to cover that $10 fee, well, now all of a sudden it says if they pay online, now they're actually going to pay $210, but you are actually going to get $199.41. So you can see the breakdown of that very easily just by changing the convenience fee. If you want to take $15, if you want to take $20, whatever it is, that will allow you to kind of recoup your costs from allowing the teams the convenience of being able to pay online. So we'll just turn that off for right now, but that's how that works. The additional info, this is where you would put in a description of maybe there's specific rules to this event. So this event might have I don't know, the winner gets t-shirts or something like that. So you could put that information in there for this specific event. Winner gets a t-shirt. So whatever is specific to this actual event is what you'd want to put in there. And then you have to agree to the terms, the fun stuff that we had to get the lawyers to figure out, because that was very painful, but we have to cover our butts, as I'm sure you want to cover your butts. So now that we've created our event, our 9U 45 by 60 aluminum event, you'll see that it takes us straight to event venues. So the venues obviously are going to be the different locations that we're going to play our tournament at. So if I click in the venue name and I just type in, say, CTC, for example, CTC is a field that already exists in our system, so it's going to grab the address and city and state and all that information for me, and then I can just say save and add another venue. So if I'm going to have multiple venues, multiple different fields for my tournament, then it's going to allow me to put in as many venues as I want. So you can have 10 different fields that you're playing at, and you can add all of those in there. You can easily remove them just by clicking on the remove button. So we don't need to add any more venues, but I'll go ahead and go back to the event dashboard. So again, the difference, well, let's go to the tournament dashboard. All right, event home. How about that? How about event home? So you gotta love all these little verification things. But let's go back just so you can kind of understand. We have my tournaments, and so if I go back to my tournaments, now you're going to actually see that the tournament name, so that's going to take you to your tournament dashboard, is blue, and it's a link, and I can click on that to go to my tournament dashboard. We also have the event, the 9U event, and you can click straight on that to go to the event dashboard if you want. Just kind of a quick shortcut. But let's just go back to the tournament dashboard first. So the tournament dashboard, again, it's going to give me all the options that I can edit for my tournament, and now you'll start to see that I have these events in here. And again, if I wanted to quickly edit an event, I can click on the pencil button, or I can delete or remove that event so that it no longer exists. I can duplicate it if I want to create, say, the 10U event, and I can also go straight to my teams that are all playing in that 9U event. Let's just duplicate this real quick. So if we duplicate it, click on that duplicate button, and that'll take us straight back to that same page that we were just at, where we can set all the settings for this this specific event. But now, because we're duplicating it, let's just put in a different age level. So we'll say 10U. We'll just keep it at 10U aluminum. We'll say the price is the same. It's the same start and end date. Maybe we're playing it at the same fields and all that kind of stuff. We want to have the same registrations. So really all we have to do now is agree to the terms and hit save, and that takes us straight to the event page, or the event dashboard. And so if we wanted to add teams, we could go to the teams page, and that'll actually show you all the teams that are playing in this event. Right now, obviously, we have no teams in our event. Let's go back to the tournament dashboard. So we click on Ben's Awesome Tournament. Now you see I have a 9U event and a 10U event. Shows you the dates and all the teams that are playing in it. So now the next question is well, how do you start adding teams? Well, let's go over here. Go to our 9U event teams page. Now there's going to be two different ways to do this. First off, if we go back to our public website. So here's our public website for our tournament. Again, where we can share this URL with different people and put it on Facebook and all that kind of stuff. And then when people come to this website and they go to the events tab, they'll now see the different events that we have coming up for our tournament. So they can see, oh, okay, it's $200 to register for this tournament, and they can click on that ticket and register right for that 9U event. If they click on the 9U event, it'll actually take them over to the page where all of the details are for that event. So maybe you have the who is playing will show if any teams have requested to play. See, so they can click right on this request to play button to add in one of their teams. They can also view the schedule if there is one, or see the standings of any of the teams. And right now all of this is pretty much empty because we don't have any data in our tournament just yet. So let's just try to request to play and see what happens. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to open up in a new window. I'm going to jump over to that window real quick. And come on. Oh, it's going to ask me to update some of my information. So let's just put in some quick information here. 467 address 1111 Test Street. Let's just say Cincinnati. Let's just go Ohio, and we'll just say 45252. Alright. So it wanted me to update my user profile so that it has all of my information, so that when I register a team, so here's a team that I have already set where I'm the head coach. And so if one of your coaches come to this page here and they click on that request to play button, it's gonna, as long as they're logged in, it's going to show them the teams that they have already created. And so then they can choose their team and they can say register this selected team. So they can register their own teams for your tournament that they've already created, and they've already got all their, maybe they already have a league for their team and they already have players on their team and they've added all that information into their website. Well, see, now it takes me back to their tournaments that they've entered, but that's because I'm the coach of this team, so it's actually taking me to my team page to show me that I've registered for this tournament. Alright, so now if I go back to my dashboard as the tournament director, and I'm just going to refresh this page, and then you'll see now there's one team in there. So now when I click on that one team, it's going to tell me who the coach was that registered for my event, if they've paid or not, and then all the contact info that they have. So this page here is where you're really going to be able to come in and see all the different information for each team for your event. And if I wanted, I could email all my teams, or I could add a new team. So I'm just gonna try adding a new team here, and I'm just gonna say Ben's team, and then I'm just gonna say well, we'll call it team 2, coach name Ben. And really, this is the important part, the coach's email. If their email already exists in LeagueTime, if they already have a team set up under a specific email, that's what you'll want to enter in. So when you invite your team, your coaches, you'll want to know the coach's email. And see, this will show you all the teams that I have. So let's just go ahead and maybe Ben's Fire Starters. So that's another test team that I have. But if I choose that team, so this would show you all the coaches' teams and then that they have in the system, and then you'd be able to choose the right one, and you'd have to go in here. We'll put Hamilton and then Ohio. So then let's save and continue, and now you'll see that it's going to add that team to my tournament. I'm not going to fill this out yet. I'll just save it. But there you go. So now we have 2 teams in this event. One that I had registered myself as the coach, and I went through the whole registration process by going to the tournament page and then basically clicking on the register button over here, the request to play button. And then the other way that we did it was by myself as the tournament director being able to add the team. So when you click on that add team, you need the coach's name, the coach's email, and the team name, so that you can invite that coach to LeagueTime, and they'll get their own free team website. So it's really powerful, and you'll start to see the benefit of all that. So now we have a complete tournament. So the Ben's Awesome tournament. So I can get back to my tournament dashboard here, and you'll see now it says 2 teams are registered for that 9U event, and I can easily get back to that 9U event team page by clicking on that. And there you go. So all of these tabs up here is what will control the data that is shown on the event page. So the contacts, the who is playing. So if we click on who is playing now, we should see there's the 2 teams that are playing in my tournament, my event. The schedule, still there's nothing there because we haven't done that yet. So let's go schedule a game real quick. So if you go to your event, so I'm on the 9U event, you click on schedule, it's going to come up and it's going to say, all right, well, what is the details of this game? So, you can either create a pool. So if you have 25 teams and you want to create 5 different pools of teams to play in, then you could do that there. If you wanted to create a bracket, maybe a double elimination bracket, you could click on that, and we'll cover all that in another tutorial. But this one, we're just going to add a single game. So you click on that, and this will allow you to basically go in, pick from any of the teams that are in your event. So I'll just do Ben's Firestarters versus Ben's Shockers, and then we'll change the date. So if we go to the little controls for the date, we said that this tournament was in August, so we'll say August 1st. It just so happened to be a Saturday, so that actually worked out. And then we'll just say it's at 4 p.m. And then we're gonna, so those venues that we added to our tournament, they're gonna show up in there. And then we can pick what facility, say field 1, field 2, field 3, and that's something that we're going to add the ability that you'll be able to eventually add in more fields to a location. But right now, you'll just have to contact support@LeagueTime.com, and we can add that. We can add as many fields to a location as you want. So once we hit create, that will create that game between those two teams, and it actually puts that game on both of those teams' schedules. So they'll get an email saying, hey, you just had a game created against you, and here's the time, the date, and the location, and so that way they automatically know when there's going to be a game against them. So, and it'll tell you all the different games that are going to happen as you put those in. So if we go back to our public page, we saw who was playing, and now that we have a schedule, we can click on that, and there's our schedule, and you'll be able to see all the different dates and teams. If you wanted to filter by a team or a date, you could see all of that. And if we go to standings now, right now both teams are 0-0 and 0 because they haven't played anything yet. But eventually, let's go ahead and let's add in a score real quick. So if we go back, as I'm logged in as the tournament director, these little buttons over here, so that one will update the score, that will update the game details. This one will actually swap who's home and away, and then this one will delete the game so that we can remove it from our schedule. So let's just go ahead and update the score real quick. If we update the score, let's just say Ben's Firestarters, they score 10, and Ben's Shockers only 7. And if I wanted, as the tournament director, if I'm keeping track of pitch count and things like that, I can actually add a player to those teams and enter in some pitch counts and things like that. But we'll just go ahead and save this for now. And now it shows you the score, 10-7, and it tells you it was saved successfully. So now when I go back to that public page, we'll go back to the schedule real quick. It shows that the score for both of those teams, and then we can go back to standings, and there we go. Ben's Firestarters is 1, Ben's Shockers is 1 loss. And so it'll keep track of all of that stuff for you. And you can actually, there's a lot more to all of this. You can add photos to photo albums. You can add a summary page. The summary page will actually let you choose who the winning team is for your championship team and your runner-up team, and you can put in a summary, all of that kind of great stuff. And again, this will take you to this event page. Will take you straight to your public page for your event, to this details page right here. So again, and there's that tournament description that we entered in earlier. So that's it for now. That's creating a tournament, and hope you all enjoyed this, and And good luck, and let us know if you have any problems or need any help with any of this. Support at LeagueTime.com. Thank you very much, and have a great one.